This is Oshkosh Today, your connection to events and organizations in the Oshkosh area. Oshkosh Today is supported in part by the Friends of OCM, Aurora Healthcare, 855 Northwest Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on Oshkosh Today. Summer is finally here in Oshkosh, and there's a lot of fun things to look forward to, so get ready to get your calendars out and start marking up your schedule with all these fun things we have on the show today. First up, with the Payne Art Center and Gardens, we'll hear about the Fair on the Green and what's so special about this outdoor arts and crafts fair. Then we've got a really cool campaign. It's called Servolution, and it's put on by His Church World Outreach that aims to serve those people who are in need. We'll talk about their latest effort, the school supply outreach, and how you can help them achieve their mission. I got out of the studio earlier this week to record a segment checking out some of the Oshkosh Public Library's summer reading programs, so we'll take a look at what they have to offer this year. And after that, if you like softball, a little bit of friendly competition, and the color pink, this event is for you, all for a great cause. The Real Men Wear Pink softball tournament is coming up, and we'll hear about all the details. Our friends from the Grand Opera House will be our final guests of the day, here to tell us about their upcoming weekend of fun with the Grand Scoop and a movie marathon. And as always, we'll wrap up the show with a segment of Focus on Health with Aurora Healthcare. So we'll go ahead and get to our first guest here. We have Kelly Marsachek here from the Payne Art Center and Gardens, here to tell us about a really fun arts and crafts fair. So thanks so much for joining us today, Kelly.
Thanks for having me here.
So the Fair on the Green is what the craft fair is called. Do you want to just start out by telling us a little bit about it?
Sure. Fair on the Green is an annual event the Payne has each summer in July. It is on July 13th this year. That's a Sunday, and it's an art fair with art vendors that come from all around, and they showcase pottery and jewelry and a lot of garden art that they've done. Bird feeders and that sort of thing. It's very diverse in what they offer there.
Yeah, wide variety.
Wide variety.
And I think I read somewhere, it's like one of the biggest art fairs in Oshkosh, really.
It is. It's Oshkosh's largest outdoor art fair, and it's a very lively day. We have live entertainment, music playing throughout the day. And we have more than just art. We have food vendors as well, so you can get your fair food fix when you come and visit, which a lot of
people like me in there.
Right. You could get anything from sugar, like cream puffs, and to egg rolls and hot dogs and that sort of thing. So that's fun too.
Excellent. So really, it's kind of a little bit of something for everyone. You know, if you're not too into art, you can come for the food and the entertainment as well.
Right.
What kinds of things? I know you said there's a few different things that vendors sell. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit on what we can expect to see this year.
Sure. A lot of handmade things. Such as handmade tables or outdoor chairs and that sort of thing. Like I said, garden art, so bird feeders, there's wind chimes, all sorts of things, whatever you can imagine that they bring.
Very cool. And are these the artists that bring these things? Are they, local artists, or do they come from pretty far around, or
they do come from pretty far around. A lot of Wisconsin artists, but then in Midwest. But then there are people that come as far as Arizona and Florida that come to the show. So,
very cool. Yes. And the whole thing is outside, so there'll obviously be tents and things like that. It's kind of a rain or shine kind of deal?
It is. It's outdoors no matter what, rain or shine. And you can feel free to tour the Payne Gardens. They will be at their peak at that time, which is always fun to see, and just tour through there. And then we will also indoors have Matisse showing on view inside. And so that'll be fun. They have 63 sketching or prints that he made. It's from the works from the artist's son's collection, and that's on view through October 19th.
Oh, so it's a little bit of time left from the Matisse yet. I know we had the Payne in last episode of Oshkosh Today actually talking about that, and it just sounds like such a cool exhibit. Yes. Now this event, it's one of a few different events that the Payne has throughout the year, all kind of supporting what exactly?
All the proceeds that we raise during this does support the Payne Art Center and Gardens and just our gardens funds and keep upkeep with the Payne. So.
Okay. And I mean, what exactly is the admission for the Fair on the Green? Is it free to
Fair
come?
on the Green
Okay.
is free, and the gardens will be free as well. The only thing that if you wanted to go inside and view Matisse, we would just have regular admission does apply, and that's $9. But the fair itself is free.
Excellent. And besides the Matisse exhibit, is there anything else going on within the Payne? I mean, do you guys offer tours or anything else?
You can book a tour in advance, and we do offer docent-led tours at the Payne. We just ask for a 2-week notice, but there's no additional fee if you want a guided tour. So go ahead and give us a call.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Any other kind of fun things going on this summer for the Payne?
We do have a lot. We have a full calendar of scheduled events this year. We have an upcoming fashion show coming on July 17th, and so that's fun too. That's on our website if you want to take a look at that. And then just a full calendar, like I said. So take a look at our calendar page.
A lot of fun things going on at the Payne Art Center.
Yes.
And I know there are memberships available as well. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that. What exactly does a membership include?
Sure. If you wanted to be a Payne member, there's just a lot of benefits to it. Free admission for the mansion and everything. There's different levels of membership too. So if you have a family, our family membership is $75, and that includes 2 adults and any accompanying children with you, and that's really a great value to a lot of people. We do have an art center in the basement, our Family Discovery Gallery, and that is geared towards ages 5 to 12, and they can really find a lot to do down there. And then this summer, and every summer, we have a lot of activities that really bring the kids outside from that center, so lots to do.
Yeah, and so if you're looking for a membership, how can you go about getting one of those?
You can visit the Payne's front desk, visit our website, or give us a call, and we would be happy to get you in the right direction for that.
Very cool. Well, we have a few minutes left, so maybe we could talk a little bit about the history of the Payne. I know I'm slightly new to Oshkosh and just kind of becoming familiar with it last year. It's just a kind of a nice little gem here in Oshkosh that not many people might know about unless you're from the city. So maybe, how long has the Payne been around for?
Well, the Payne has been around since probably the 20s, I would say. That's when they started building construction. And Nathan Payne and Jessie Kimberly never had children, so there's no children to pass it on to. So now it's here as a museum. And they always intended to have it open to the public to view their extensive art collection. They were very big art collectors themselves, and thought it was important to share that with the Oshkosh community. So when you do come in, you'll see that the main gallery is set up perfectly for an art gallery, and that's why, because they always intended it to be that way.
Very cool. So it was actually a house. They lived there to begin with, and then
right. Well, no one ever lived there.
Oh.
That's fine. It was Nathan Payne had passed away before it was completed.
Oh, okay.
And so no one ever lived there. Jessie didn't want to live there alone. And but it was intended to live in. And like I had said, they planned to open it to the public. And when you see it, you can also see ways that they were going to close it off so that the public could come in, and then they had their private space as well, which would be a really great benefit. If you wanted a guided tour, we could pass along all that information to you.
Yes, and there's all different rooms too. I've realized from just being there, it's that you walk in and you don't realize how much is actually in there until you're actually going around. So it's
That's
just
right.
Such a beautiful, beautiful place. Not only the building itself, but the gardens and everything. And I would definitely encourage anyone to come and see the Payne. So, about a minute left. Maybe you want to just kind of recap the Fair on the Green for us, times, dates, times, anything else?
Sure. Fair on the Green. Join us on July 13th. That's a Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it's free admission, lots to do, lots to see. Even if you don't want to look at the vendors, just the atmosphere alone is great fun to be there. So.
And just a side note too, if you're looking how to get there exactly, it's going to be right in the Payne Garden. So do you just park, on the street?
Park on the streets along the road. And it is outside the Payne gates, not in the gardens, what people typically see as the gardens, but just across the street on the open grass areas. And then we have our corner market that has a few other things, jewelry and other antiques type stuff as well to add to the fun.
Very nice. And it being such a big arts and crafts fair, you obviously probably can't miss it if you're driving by. So
That's right.
yes. Well, really looking forward to that. And thanks so much for coming in and telling us all about it.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Servolution is a huge campaign that aims to serve those people who are in need. So we'll hear about their latest project coming up next.
Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. When we see a roundabout, take it slow. Then we pick the correct lane and take it slow. When we see a car approach, we yield to the left. When we're in that roundabout, we don't pass anybody yet. Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow.
Visit WisconsinRoundabouts.com for more info from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Do you know or have a family member with a disability? Cerebral Palsy of Mideast, Wisconsin is here to help. We offer programs and services that make a positive difference for individuals that are affected by a variety of disabilities. Volunteers are always welcome, and your financial gifts are truly appreciated and tax deductible. For more details, log on to www.cpmideastwis.com or call 1-800-261-1895. Thanks for supporting Cerebral Palsy of Mideast, Wisconsin.
We're back here on Oshkosh Today. Thanks again for joining us. And now we're with our second guest of the day here to talk about Servolution, put on by His Church World Outreach. And I have Rachel Schmitz here to tell us a little bit about the campaign. So Rachel, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So the Servolution, maybe you could just talk a little bit about what exactly it is and what it consists of for us.
Well, basically what Servolution is a church revolution through serving. So rather than just sitting in the chairs talking about doing good things, we actually are active in our community, finding what needs are out there, meeting those needs, and changing lives. And
Actually,
that's what we do.
Practicing what you preach, exactly. So this is, it's not a contained event where it's, this date to this date. It's really a continuous effort as Servolution is an idea, right?
Yes, we actually, it's a monthly events we have. We have a whole week in April actually where we do a separate event each day.
Really?
For 7-8 days straight. It leads right up to Easter. And we have a few specific events throughout the year that are real big events.
Mm-hmm. The ones to really, get the extra push in there.
Yes, exactly.
And this is put on by His Church World Outreach, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that a kind of a local ministry, or is it more of a national scale?
Well, I represent a local ministry, my husband Mike and I, and it's His Church World Outreach at 2704 Jackson Street. Mm-hmm. But we're actually connected to a nationwide type of movement. It was started by Dino Rizzo, who started Healing Place Church in Baton Rouge. And Servolution itself was really birthed from their response to Hurricane Katrina, actually.
Oh, okay.
They were basically first responders and came in with medical help. They came in with all sorts of help for the people in need, water, food, blankets, any way that tons of guys with chainsaws to get people freed. And they were let in right away because of their massive army of helpers. Yeah. And from that, there's actually thousands of churches, not just nationwide, but worldwide, that have got on board with this, helping their local communities, just like us. We focus on the Oshkosh community and a little bit beyond. Mm-hmm. And it's just really exciting to be a part of.
That's just amazing. It starts down in Florida, and, the word kind of spreads a little bit, and the mission of helping people, it seems like such a simple thing, but it's hard to really, grasp it until you're working together to do that.
Exactly.
So what are some of the things that you've done in the past to kind of support your mission of Servolution?
Well, some of the things we've done are Well, actually, one of our most recent exciting events, which is a little bit of a larger event, it's a free youth basketball tournament that we had at the Boys and Girls Club in Oshkosh, and that was last April. And it was really exciting. We invited every single middle school and high schooler from the Oshkosh area school district.
Oh my gosh.
And we had over 100 come out and play basketball. Their families came and watched. It was really fun. Free food, everything about it was free, and it was just a blast. We look forward to doing that again. We do a block party each year at a housing. It's Cumberland Court Apartments.
Okay.
That's a blast. Everything's free face painting, like jump house, free food. It's like barbecue.
How fun is that?
Yeah, it's so fun. We do donation drives. We've done diaper drives for Bella Medical Clinic. We've done toy drives for the Children's Hospital. We've done trash pickup around Oshkosh, Main Street, the parks, all of that. Just whenever we see a need, we do our best to try and meet that.
So you guys are busy.
Yeah.
To say the very least.
Yeah, a little bit.
And you're saying all these things are completely free to people. Like for the example, the basketball tournament, everything's free. So if you have like snacks and stuff like that, that's all free. How do you make that work?
Well, we are actually a small church with people with very big hearts and very generous. So occasionally we do have corporate sponsorships, which is also a wonderful thing. So we do as much as we can given whatever donations come in, so that whatever the participants come for whatever event it is, everything is completely 100% free. And everyone's always like, "Are you sure? Can I give you anything for this hot dog?" We're like, no.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And actually, something that you wanted to cover today is the school supply outreach, which is the latest thing that you're brewing here. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about what that is.
Yes, the school supply outreach, we've been doing this for a long time, and it's every August. This year it's August 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. And what we aim to do is to give free school supplies to families that are in need. It gets expensive buying all these supplies. So it's not like we just hand out pencils or some note card and say, "Here, have a good school year." We have this awesome event. We have a jump house, free face painting, free food, free games. And each child that comes that is registered, they get a backpack plus every single item that they need for their school year. So if you're a second grader, the second grade list comes out and we fill every single thing on that list. We look to serve 125 this year, but when extra donations come in, we just keep buying more. We don't want to turn anyone away.
Wow,
So.
that's just crazy to me to think. I mean, because I'm trying to think of my younger siblings and cousins, and the lists that they have are crazy extensive.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's just so cool to have all of that provided to you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, who exactly are you trying to help? I mean, is this open to anyone that wants to sign up that feels like they can do this?
Yeah, we don't interview people or have all these forms they have to fill out.
Right.
But yeah, we're looking to help families that struggle financially, and it's hard to fund all that stuff that they need for the year. So they call and get signed up, and it's kind of a first come, first serve, but we would love to not turn anyone away.
Exactly.
So.
And how can people sign up?
Well, the best way for people to sign up and help, though they can call the church to sign up on beginning of August. But more than that, what we really need help with is for people to just open up their hearts and donate. They can drop off donations at the church at 2704 Jackson Street in Oshkosh, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We are actually open for people to drop things off. We do accept monetary donations because then we can do the shopping for them and fill up the backpacks if we're short on dry erase markers or whatever it may be. And that will just help us not turn anyone away as well.
And, I mean, are you looking for any kind of volunteers or anything for that day? I know, some people actually want to get in there and physically help with some things.
Yeah, well, we do actually have a whole big team of people, so
Really?
like everything's pretty much covered there. The big help is in the donations.
Excellent. Well, hey,
So-
that's a good thing. I mean, most people are always looking for volunteers, but you got that taken care of.
Yeah,
So very
yeah.
nice. And his church, World Outreach, maybe we can talk a little bit about that. If someone's looking to want to become a member or if they want to get more involved, how can they do that?
Well, we have services a few times a week, Sundays at 10 a.m. and Sunday nights at 6 p.m. and Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. We offer childcare and we have wonderful people. I actually have 4 kids myself, and I 100% trust the people that watch them from about 6 weeks on up through 6th grade. We also have a youth ministry as well. They meet Sunday nights at 6 p.m. and Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. We have a lot of opportunities for people just to get connected with like-minded people, and it's just a really great group of people. It's like a big family.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. And I guess maybe we just want to recap a little bit, dates, times of the school supply outreach, and then where you can learn more.
All right, great. Yeah, it's the school supply outreach, or school supply bash, some people will call it, because it's so fun. It's this August 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. at 2704 Jackson Street in Oshkosh, his church World Outreach. And to get involved or find out more about Servolution, you can go to servolution.org, or you can go to hcwo.org. That's our personal church website. Okay. And we're also on Facebook. You can look us up there as well.
Yes, and we've got the phone number up there, so
Perfect.
It's right there if you're looking to call as well. Facebook page is awesome. That's my number one way of finding information about
Yeah,
things.
me too.
Always the Facebook pages. So
Yeah.
Great. Well, good luck with your school supply outreach and with Servolution completely. So
Thank you so much.
Great having you in.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. We're going to take a quick break here on Oshkosh Today, and when we come back, we'll check out what the Oshkosh Public Library is up to this summer. So stay tuned. You're watching Oshkosh Today.
I am online.
I enjoy sharing thoughts.
Music. Videos.
Ideas. Information.
I will not
I will not be a victim to threats.
to stalking, to soliciting, to predators.
I will be responsible.
I will be careful.
I will be honest.
I will be smarter. I will get my parents involved.
I will protect myself.
I will be safe.
I am a teenager.
And I
And I
Will not.
be bullied.
Welcome back to Oshkosh Today. Now we're here at the Oshkosh Public Library down in the children's section, and I'm here with Lisa Voss with Library Development here at the Oshkosh Public Library. So thanks so much for having us out here today, Lisa.
Thanks for coming over.
And today we kind of want to talk a little bit about the summer reading program for kids. So first of all, if you just want to tell us what exactly is the summer reading program?
Well, the summer reading program, we have them actually for children, teens, and adults. So we want everybody to get in on this. It's pretty much consumes our summer here, and the focus is really on reading. One of the primary elements of the program is that you read. We want kids, especially teens, to read at least 20 minutes a day because it really helps them to keep up their reading skills. So part of the incentive with that is that we offer little prizes. We have a show at the end of the summer that the kids can earn a ticket to by reading at least 2 weeks, and then we have a good percentage of kids that read them throughout the entire summer, and it prevents what's called summer slide, which educators all and librarians all know about, and that is really a loss of reading skills. We want these kids to be ready to learn when they get back to school in the fall, and coming to the library and participating in our programs and just reading on its own is going to help with that. So.
Kind of keeping that, momentum going after school.
Really,
a little bit.
right. You don't want to, as I said, you don't want to lose that. So
Right.
this is an easy and fun way to do it.
Oh yes, and there's a lot of fun incentives for them too. I know you said they can have a chance to win a ticket to a show. What kind of show is at the end here?
We're bringing in Stuart Stotts and Tom Pease, which if you have children or have ever had children, you know who they are. They're sort of the rock stars of children's entertainment, especially here in Wisconsin. And they put on a great show together, and we're doing that at the Grand Opera House at the end of the summer. So come in, sign up for the program, and then you track your reading basically, and all ages do that. And you come in, you show the staff your reading log, and you get your prizes as you go along.
Excellent. And what other kinds of things, what other kind of prizes as you go? I mean, for even if they've already happened this summer, for next summer, and different kinds of things you can work towards?
Well, you can earn things all along the way during the summer. So you might get a free book at one point in the summer. You might get a ticket for, something from the Timber Rattlers. We have all different, Hardee's. We have all different sorts of wonderful local businesses that donate to this program.
Wow.
The teens and adults tend to get, it's more the books, or you might get a t-shirt or a gift certificate for a local business. So
Excellent.
It really is kind of fun.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool that it's not only kids. So if you have a child and your child's in the summer reading program, you can read right along with them and kind of be a part of that.
And it's good role modeling.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and if you're going to read anyway, why not get a prize for it?
Yeah, definitely. And there are some discovery tables. What can you tell us about those?
Well, we have a science theme, especially for the kids and the teens this year. It's Fizz Boom Read for the kids, and then Spark a Reaction for the teens. And for the younger kids, we have some discovery tables that we've set up, and each week is sort of a different theme. It's in the afternoon from about 1:30 to 3:30. The kids can just come in and do a little hands-on exploration. We have, mazes that show them how gravity works. We have different rocks and fossil sorts of activities. We have a little skeleton of the human body where all the internal organs actually come out, and then the kids have to identify is this a liver? Is this your heart? Those sorts of things. So it really does teach the kids something in a really fun way.
Yes, I think I heard one over there in the corner too.
Yes, I hear marbles rolling around in the maze, and the kids can help. They're helping to build it, and we have volunteers here to show them then books if they really get interested in something. When they leave here, they want to learn more, they can check out a couple of books to help them with that.
Kind of take a little break from their reading and kind of,
get
some of their energy out on those discovery
Exactly.
tables. And there's still time to sign up if you are still interested. You can sign up throughout the program. How do you do that?
Right, you can come to the library and sign up. We have volunteers here to help you sign up, or you can go to oshkoshpubliclibrary.org and sign up online.
Excellent. And there are some other programs to look forward to outside of the reading program. What can you tell us about that? I know a lot of your programs are sponsored by your Friends group, actually.
Yes, the Friends of the Library provide a lot of funding for our summer reading program. We really couldn't do it, with just our regular budget and do the caliber of program that we do, so we're very thankful to them. So we've got, music programs for the kids. We've got the teens have some really fun. They have a costume contest and trivia contest with a science fiction theme. They're doing some fun things where you can come and watch a movie based on a book like The Book Thief or The Hunger Games, and then you can win the DVD.
Oh, very cool.
Beyond the summer reading program, we also have, used book sales during the summer. We have some, again, if you go to our events calendar, you can see it's packed full with something for just about anybody.
There's something almost every week that you can look forward to. So it's
4th of July week. We're taking a little bit of a break there because people are gone, but right after that, we start right back up again.
Yes.
And in August, we'll have mostly some movies as things wind down. People go on vacation more, but right now we've got tons going on.
And even, outside of all of these things going on, we were upstairs, 5 minutes ago. It's busy up there. People are coming in and out, and I think summer really is a big time for people to actually have the extra time to read. So
I think it is, and if you're sitting on the patio, sitting by the pool, people go on vacation. If you have your tablet or your Kindle, download some ebooks to take with you. You can download ebooks and audiobooks also from our website. So it's really it's handy for people who do everything on their iPad or whatever tablet they have or their Kindle. It gets expensive to constantly be buying books, just like it does with a regular book. So you can throw in some of those free ebooks there, and it makes it easy for folks.
And you don't need any special card or anything like that
you just need a library card, and we do have instructions on our website, and if you have any issues with it and are having a problem, you can always call the library or
stop in. The staff is always very helpful around here, so that's always something that's great to have. So we're almost just about out of time here. If there's anything else you wanted to mention for the summer here at the library.
One of the things that we've done over the past few years is we have free bus rides to the library on Go Transit buses. They've been a great partner with that, and if you get on the bus, show your library card, a child or a teenager, and then when you get here, you get a free pass to go back home. So it makes it easier for kids who maybe can't get a ride to the library to get here and spend some time.
Definitely. Very great. Well, thank you so much for having us out here, and I know it's very busy, so we'll let you guys get back to work.
Thank you.
Good luck this summer, Lisa.
Thanks, Emily.
Thanks again for joining us on Oshkosh Today. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more right after this.
The kittens are coming! The kittens are coming! The Oshkosh Area Humane Society is being invaded by cute, cuddly cats and kittens. They are everywhere and have taken over the shelter. There is no escaping them.
Director, we must do something about all these cats and kittens.
You are right, shelter manager. I know what we'll do. Every cat and kitten in the building is free.
Catzilla Days at the Oshkosh Area Humane Society.
Welcome back to Oshkosh Today, and thank you for joining us. And our next guest here is here to tell us about kind of a really fun event, all for a great cause, the Real Men Wear Pink softball tournament. So I'd like to welcome Lisa Curtis and Jennifer Ritten. So
Hello.
Thanks so much for joining us today,
Thanks for
ladies.
inviting us. Appreciate it.
So this is really a cool event. From the information that you guys sent me before, it looks like so much fun. So first off, maybe if one of you just want to tell us a little bit about where did Real Men Wear Pink start?
Real Men Wear Pink actually, it started back in 2009, and before it was Real Men Wear Pink, it started off as just a one-off benefit. The founders, our friend Jody, who is on the board, her mother was going through breast cancer for the second time, and she needed the funds. The shots and the chemo and treatments just were extremely expensive. So her husband Mike had brought up, maybe we could do something for her, have a benefit. And he's big into softball, and he played with the leagues, and he was able to scrounge up a bunch of people, and so it kind of just took off from there. We had a really great event. It was very cold the first year, being by the lake, but it was a great event. And shortly after that, we decided that since it was something that we knew would benefit people, that we'd want to continue on with doing the benefits for other people in the community. So we find people in the local community who's going through breast cancer who could use the money for treatments, or if they just even need to get away for a while, just to take a break from it. So we decided at that point that we started Real Men Wear Pink, a nonprofit organization, and just continued on from there, and this is our 6th year. So
awesome. And each summer, it's a softball tournament, really. It's kind of a couple of days event. When is it taking place this year?
This year will be July 11th through the 12th, and starts off 5 o'clock on Friday and then continues on through the probably 9, 10 o'clock at night, and then starts off bright and early on Saturday and usually ends about 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Really?
Yeah, it's a
full weekend.
It's a full weekend.
And you were saying all the funds of these softball tournaments go to recipients that need it a lot right now. Mm-hmm. So how do you choose a recipient? It seems like there's so many people out there,
We have a nomination process. So people in the beginning of the year, like February, March, we usually put out the call for we're accepting recipients or nominations for recipients, and we have a form they fill out. Friends can nominate them, family, themselves, it doesn't matter. And they fill out the form, and we collect them all, and then we go through the very, very tough process of looking at them, and between the 5 of us that are on the board, figuring out who we think is a good fit for us too, because you have to want to be in the 4th of July parade and come for the weekend and kind of put yourself out there, because we want your story and we want your pictures, and so you have to find somebody that's comfortable with doing that too. So it's not just I mean, it is about them as a whole person.
Definitely.
But we definitely look at their support group, and this year we decided to pick 2 people because we just couldn't decide.
It was very hard.
It's very hard.
It's a very hard process.
Very hard.
You go through the nominees, and they're all, the stories they're heartbreaking for the most case, and it's very hard to try to figure out who can we actually do this, who needs it more when everybody needs it.
Exactly.
If we could help others all the time, that'd be great. But this year we are doing 2 because they're so similar, and they're very young, and they have young families, and they could definitely use the money.
Yeah. Let's talk about the recipients this year.
Yes.
So who have we got for this year?
We have Lindsay Carney and we have Jamie Rice. Okay. And they are both in their early 30s, and I think they were both diagnosed in their late 20s when they first found out. By coincidence, a couple of them actually, and thankfully they pushed for it and pushed their doctors to go in and actually take a look at it. So they are our recipients this year, and we're excited because they're great. Yeah, very young families.
Yes, and these pictures are so cute with their kids that we have.
That's Lindsay.
Yes, and just before that was the other one. What's her name?
Jamie.
Jamie, there she is. Yes.
Here's Jamie.
And So this is such a cool event. It's a whole weekend, so you can, devote your whole weekend to this
Yep.
fun. It's a softball tournament, so maybe you want to talk a little bit about that. How many teams have you got so far?
So far, I think we have about 10, but we usually don't start getting them until probably about a week or two.
Really?
That's when everybody starts signing up, and it's a free-for-all at that point. Because that's when everybody's like, okay, we got to put everything in there. Yes, we do want to play, and they can sign up on our website now, thankfully, but it was usually by word. They come over and bring in their paperwork, and it's a lot of people.
So it's set up as a tournament. So you play you just continue on as you win.
Yep.
Does it tend to get pretty competitive?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were just kind of just talking about that.
Understatement.
Yes. yeah. We have the dedicated ones. I mean, there's people that have been here every single year, and they want to keep their title. So yeah, they're definitely competitive guys out there.
I think the group that won last year won 2 years in a row.
They have. Yep.
So they're up for.
They're up for
the
3.
Pressure's
up
on.
yeah.
3 years.
Yeah. Keep the trophy. They want the trophies.
I asked you before we started recording if women play in the tournament at all, and you kind of said, yeah, they do, but it can get a little dangerous out there.
Yeah, we tell them they're allowed.
Yeah.
We're not prohibiting them from doing it.
No, absolutely not. The more the merrier.
Yes.
Yeah, it's mostly a men's league.
Softball playing out there sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is completely, it's to raise funds. So are you looking for any kind of volunteers or anything for this?
Definitely. We are always looking for volunteers for our events. We do other events besides the tournament too, so we have brat fries and things, but on our website you can find the link to our volunteer sign up, and we list the times and the jobs so you can kind of pick what you're comfortable with doing, selling raffle tickets or working the concession stand. We always need scorekeepers. That's the biggest one.
It's a big one.
It's easy, but I don't know, people think it's hard or something.
Yeah, it is, because it is a competitive thing, and people don't want to mess anything up.
They don't want to mess it up. I used to do that in college, and it was a little scary sometimes, but
it's a volunteer thing, and most people that are playing know that there's people up there that are volunteers that usually don't do this every year, so they're pretty understanding. The group is pretty cool that we have.
It's all in fun too.
It is. It's all in fun.
But right on our website you can sign up whatever job you want.
Great. And the website is?
It's www.realmenwearpink-wi.org.
Okay, excellent. And we've got that up on the screen right now. We got to talk about the car raffle.
Yes.
Can maybe just tell us a little bit about that here?
Sure. We started the car raffle a couple months ago already. We are raffling off a Pontiac G6 hardtop convertible.
Oh my gosh.
With the help of Elite Auto on Jackson Street. And they've done it up with some awesome decals and stuff on the side, and we've been driving it around town. The drawing will actually be on September 20th at 6 in conjunction with the Big or Small We Save Them All event at the bar. They have a walk that they do every year, and that kicks off their month of October where they do some sales. And last year they benefited us with the money from those sales, and that went to our scholarship fund through the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation. But the car raffle then will be done at the end of that walk. So $50 a ticket. We have to sell 500 tickets to make it happen. And we have other prizes after that. We have cash prizes too. If you don't want the car, it's $10,000.
Wow.
And then we have prizes down from there.
So, I mean, so much going on, and unfortunately we're just about out of time here. If you want to learn more about the softball tournament, there's a beverage drinking contest, which is not quite as what it seems when I first heard it, but you can learn about that. You can register your teams, all on the website, and you also have a Facebook page, I believe?
We do, So if anybody has any questions, definitely contact us. Best way is through the website or through Facebook.
Excellent. Well, hey, good luck at your softball tournament.
Thank you.
And I'm going to try and make it down, not to play, but maybe to watch it and partake in the beverage drinking contest or something like that.
Or even the raffles. We got lots of raffles.
Yes. So thanks so much for coming down today, ladies.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coming up next, our final guest of the day, the Grand Opera House, is here to tell us about their weekend of fun that they have coming up. We'll be right back right after this.
Hi, I'm Mayor Bergtauer, and I'm asking for your help. The city has several boards and commissions that play important roles in just about every aspect of local government. Whether it's the Parks Board or the Landmarks Commission, These and other boards act as a forum for citizens to address their concerns and questions about Oshkosh city government. The boards also provide members the opportunity to make positive suggestions to the council or city staff to move the city forward. So here's where we need your help. For our city to work effectively, we need active citizen participation. Many of our boards and commissions currently need members. We're asking for just a few hours of your time each month to serve on one of our boards or commissions and help to ensure a strong democratic process. So please consider serving on a city board or commission. For an application, visit the city website, stop by the city manager's office in City Hall, or call 236-5000. Thank you for your interest, and we look forward to your possible involvement.
Again for joining us on Oshkosh today, and now we are with our final guest of the day here at the Grand Opera House. Our friend Joe Furlow is here to tell us about some really fun things you guys have coming up at the Grand. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Emily. It's a pleasure.
You have a really packed weekend coming up, I hear.
It's a fun weekend. It's one of my favorite times of the year. It starts with the Grand Scoop. This is the 10th year for the Grand Scoop. It's something that I started right after my first year here, and what I wanted to do was invent something that, first of all, thanked the community for their support, and second of all, felt really fun and informal, and really got the message across that the Grand was for everybody.
Right.
And it wasn't someplace you had to dress up special to go to. And
a fancy dancy.
Exactly. So what we did was we started to throw a party, and we would announce the new season, but we'd also give away some ice cream. And we'd open the doors to the theater and have tours of the theater, self-guided tours. There'd be kids' games and face painting and that sort of thing going on. And this year's just like that. People will, you go in the back doors, so you end up right on stage for the start. And there are character guides to lead you through the theater. On stage, we have actually a preview of the new season happening on stage. It's the first day that season subscriptions, people who want to buy 5 or more tickets to our season, which includes the symphony, community players, and hysterical productions. You can buy groups of 5 or more tickets starting that day. So we preview the season on a big screen, but there's also face painting going on stage, and then you get led through the theater. And by these character guides, and of course there's signs, and they talk about the history of the theater, which is 131 years old now. And
131 years old.
Yes, it's the oldest operating theater building in the state.
That is so cool.
We're pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
And so you walk through, and it tells a little bit about the 1986 restoration and the 2009 repair work. And as you find your way through to the lobby, there are kids' games throughout the lobby and the historic lobby, and you find your way through, and the kids will be able to win little kid prizes and do that stuff. All of that's free, and then they work their way through the lobby, and as they get outside the theater, on the opposite side, between us and our neighbors at Thompson Studio, there's a tent there where the free ice cream is, and
that's where the ice cream is. I was waiting for that.
That's where the ice cream is. That's the big deal. And of course, we're really happy our partners at Caramel Crisp donate the ice cream. It's the one thing we do give that away. You can also buy popcorn, or there's a food vendor too, and you can hang around, find your morning there. It's obviously by nature. It wasn't this way 10 years ago, but now it is right there next to and following the farmers market. It goes from 10 to 1.
Oh, perfect.
So we hope that people will go to the market and then find their way into the Grand at that point. Yeah. We are thankful. We have a sponsor, Citizens First Credit Union, has sponsored this for years now as part of their community engagement series, and that's the big event. That's kind of
like a mini block party.
It is. It's exactly what it is. It's an open house and block party, and we have people of all. For some people, that's the first time during the course of a year they find their way into the Grand, and hopefully they discover other reasons that they want to find their way in.
What a perfect way to, like you said, finally get in there and see what it's like inside, and
exactly.
Without having to.
You're always surprised by how many people in our community haven't been in the Grand since it was a movie theater, or since they were a kid, and there's so many. It's so different now. It's venerable and it's beautiful and it's historic, but it's really everybody's living room, and it's a place for fun to happen, and so I'm always happy for days like this.
And you can't go wrong with ice cream from
You
Carmel
can't
Kids
go
either.
wrong with ice
You
cream.
really
The only
can't.
thing that makes it better is that it's free.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So we took this, and then we went with the second day. We had so much fun, we decided to make a weekend out of it.
Great.
So on Sunday, the 20th, we're going to have a Jeff Daniels movie marathon. And of course, we want to celebrate. Jeff Daniels is, my gosh, he's the unofficial favorite artist at the Grand. This will be his 4th visit here. And Jeff was the artist that the community voted to open the theater in 2010 when we had been closed for 18 months.
That
was his last visit. And of course, since then, he's won an Emmy. He's made Dumb and Dumber 2, which opens this fall.
Yes. Can't wait for that.
And
It's
he's
a
got
shame
this
you're not
great,
showing no sneak peeks for Dumb and Dumber 2.
No sneak peeks. Although there's a preview out there. Maybe we'll have to find a way to get that up onto the screen or something like that. So, but we're going to show Dumb and Dumber, the original, along with My Favorite Martian and Pleasantville and The Goodbye Girl.
Very cool.
So there'll be breaks in between. We'll be the only operating movie theater with a full bar. The lounge will be open. And of course, there'll be popcorn. And this is a big deal. We were talking about this before we went on, on the air.
Popcorn in the Grand.
Normally, we stop the popcorn at the lobby just because of the, to keep the theater, to be able to keep it up. And it's a challenge to clean. But, we thought if we're going to do a movie marathon on Grand Scoop weekend, we got to bring the popcorn into the theater. So you'll be able to bring your popcorn and your beverage into the theater, and you can come and go as you please. It's a $5 admission, and basically if you leave, you get your hand stamped. You can see all 4 movies for $5. You can see any one of your favorites. And that's basically just to to cover the cost of keeping the building open that day. Right. We want to celebrate Jeff. He's coming in August. He starts our season off August 24th, and we may have to do some reminders on site that day because people are always surprised. In fact, one of my favorite parts of Jeff Daniels' performance is he opens, plays guitar, does his thing, and he kind of pokes fun at the fact that he's what they recognize him from, and then he finishes and he says, "I wasn't terrible, was I?" And because he's this fabulous songwriter, and he writes.
And that's something I really didn't know much. I didn't realize that about him. I always saw him as the actor, and he's Harry from Dumb and Dumber.
That's right.
Until I moved to Oshkosh, and I heard that Jeff Daniels is, kind of a frequent Grand goer.
Well, and he's just the artist that makes the Grand special, because he's up there on stage, and you feel like it's just you and me talking right now. He's so genuine. He enjoys it. He loves playing the Grand, and he tells people that. And of course, who doesn't love when that happens in your theater? But you just feel like you're having an afternoon with him, with 600 other people. So it'll be a hot ticket to open the season. We're looking forward to that.
And when is the Jeff Daniels?
August 24th. There are 2 shows, a 2 o'clock and a 7:30 show.
Okay, and to get any kind of tickets or anything like that, you can always go to the Grand.
You can go to the website, or the Facebook page will direct you to the on-site the tickets online version. If you're a member of the Grand, and of course I should point this out because people often go, well, what do I get when I'm a member? Membership starts at $50, works its way up. The most important thing about being a member is you get to purchase your tickets in advance of the general public. Jeff Daniels goes on sale, or as we tape this, will have gone on sale July 1st.
Okay.
So it's on to members only.
Oh, to the
so
members,
from July
it's
1st until the 14th, it's members only.
Nice.
So then on the 14th they go on sale to the general public. So membership does have an advantage.
About, oh shoot, I missed it. I wanted to
And guess what?
Tickets.
Of course, you can go. If you're watching this right now and you go, gee, maybe I become a member on site? And you can. We'll be happy to accept you. And of course, there's lots of other reasons to support. Donor support is
family.
so much of what we're able to do in the community comes from the support of the community. So of course that's important. But we're really pleased to have Jeff open the season, and we're real pleased to open the season with that fun weekend, the Grand Scoop and the movie marathon.
Yes, and you'll be able to see the rest of what's coming at the Grand Scoop when you
That's
unveil
right.
your schedule for the fall.
That's right. And as I said earlier, you can buy 5 or more tickets starting that day, and then on August the 4th. Everything goes on sale.
Okay, excellent.
So at that point, you can buy single tickets for any of the events by any of those 4 organizations, the Grand and our 3 partner organizations.
Perfect. Well, sounds like such a fun weekend. A little bit of time left if you just want to recap dates and times.
I will.
Prices.
It's July 19th, the Grand Scoop. It is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. right at the tail end of the farmers market. So we hope you'll find your way in the back doors of the theater. It is all indoors this year because there's the farmers market moves its way into Opera House Square. So then you just find your way in the back. Come in the back. It's a better way that way.
Yeah.
There'll be an awning and it'll be marked, and you find your way in the back door.
Kind of exclusive going in there.
That's right. All of the partner organizations, Hysterical Productions and the Symphony, and the community players are represented on site that day as well. So you can get a preview of the season. You can find out more about those organizations if you like, and then find your way through. And at the end of the trail, by the guided tour, by the self-guided tours, by the character guides, that's where the free ice cream is.
Yes. And that's where I'll mosey my way right away.
I bet you will.
And then make sure to come back the next day for the Jeff Daniels.
That's right, and that starts at 12:30. The specific times will be posted. It's on the Facebook site and, of course, on the website. And you can find your way through. Pick one or stay for all.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like so much fun, and I'm probably going to be finding my way out there at some point. So thanks so much for coming in today, Joe.
We'll see you there. Thank you.
We're going to go directly to Focus on Health today here, and if you're excuse me, it's time to take a few minutes to focus on health. And women are trying to make some decisions about some permanent birth control, and we're going to learn about a new option that Aurora has with Focus on Health. So take it to Ted Stefaniak.
This Focus on Health segment is brought to you by Aurora Healthcare.
Hello and welcome to Focus on Health. I'm Ted Stefaniak. Today we're at the Aurora Medical Center in Oshkosh. Now we're visiting the Women's Health Center today, and we're going to be speaking with Dr. Rob Southwick about a relatively new procedure when it comes to permanent birth control. Well, thanks for taking some time with us today. Sure. We're talking about this procedure, Assure, and it's a different procedure for those looking to have a basically permanent birth control.
Correct. Yeah, Assure really filled a niche for us in that prior to that, all we had was the traditional surgical tubal, and we would really counsel a lot of our patients that their partner should have a vasectomy because it was a safer procedure. And this came along, gave us an option that could be done without a general anesthetic, without an incision, in the office setting, and actually had a better outcome. So it really filled a niche for us.
Yeah. So you're one of the first in the state to actually use this procedure.
Well, when this procedure came out, we saw an opportunity to be able to offer women something that didn't have a lot of downtime to it, and provided them with permanent birth control. And so we brought it into the office back in about 2002. And we were one of the first offices in the country at that time doing this procedure in the office.
Yeah. How does this differ from some of the other procedures that are out there for either male or female?
Sure. Well, the main difference in the procedure as far as outcomes is that it's less likely to fail. All permanent birth control procedures fail. Vasectomies have the highest failure rate, and the traditional surgical tubal that most people are familiar with had the next highest failure rate. And so that was the first attraction to it, was this lower failure rate. But then the other thing that was very attractive to it for our patients was the fact that we could do it without putting them to sleep, without making any incisions, and we could reliably tell people they'd be back to normal activities in 24 to 48 hours.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround compared to some of the other procedures out there. Now we're talking about just a small coil, and I know you have a coil here, and we can actually show you what it looks like up against a coin, but it's very small. How does it exactly work?
Well, it was a pretty novel idea. The person that developed it took existing technologies. The coil that's used in this on the outside actually anchors it in the fallopian tube, and you can't see it unless you're really close up, but there's an actual, what we call an inner coil, and that inner coil contains fibers of dacron, which again has been used in medicine for quite some time. And so the outer coil anchors the inner coil inside a woman's fallopian tube, and then the dacron causes the body's tissues to naturally grow into it. And so essentially what you get is a scar the entire length of this coil that blocks the tube, and it keeps the sperm from being able to get to the egg and fertilize it.
So you mentioned that it's a shorter recovery time, and I guess a lot of people want to know, does it hurt?
Well, a lot of when we started doing these, we actually would do pain questionnaires, pain scales, and what we decided to do was to relate it to something every woman was familiar with, and that was cramping during her menstrual period. And what we found is that women would tell us really this was no more crampy than a typical menstrual period, and a lot of times less crampy than a menstrual period.
In terms of insurance now, I know there have been a lot of changes in the health laws.
Sure.
there's a benefit here for that as well.
Well, again, when we look at what's gone on with the Affordable Care Act, one of the mandates of that is that women do not have to have an out-of-pocket expense for birth control, and this is under that rule. And so people should check with their insurance companies, because there's different timing as far as when our insurance companies had to implement that. But ultimately, our understanding is that most women will have little or no out-of-pocket costs with this procedure.
Yeah. How does one then make a decision like this? Do you sit down with the patient and kind of go over some of the options that are available?
Absolutely. The first decision a couple makes is that they're done. And we always emphasize that permanent birth control, no matter what form a couple chooses, they have to be sure it's permanent, because while technically things can be undone, it's far more difficult to undo things than it is to do things. So once a couple's sure they're ready for permanent birth control, we'll typically meet with them and go over the various options available to them.
Does that happen then in a typical appointment that's set up with you then? Or?
A lot of times it'll be an appointment that's set up specifically to discuss birth control, but other times women should actually think about bringing the subject up themselves. It's just when they're in for their regular checkup and they're saying, well, can I get my birth control pills refilled? But if you're a 40-year-old woman taking birth control pills just for the birth control effect, it's a reasonable question to ask. Is there something I can do that's permanent, then doesn't require me to take a medication every day?
Yeah. Any side effects to something like this?
Typically, no. I mean, the number one side effect would be some initial cramping after the procedure, but again, within 24 to 48 hours, people will be back to normal activities. Otherwise, these contain no hormones, so there's no medication within the Assure coils, and we would expect people to not notice any differences. Now, the one thing we'll always warn folks about is a lot of women have heard from friends or family that when they've had their tubes tied, that periods become heavier and less predictable. That's more a function of a woman stopping her birth control pills or age.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you taking some time to talk about this today.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
If you have any questions regarding the Assure procedure, you can always get a hold of Dr. Southwick or your women's health care provider at 303-8700. I'm Ted Stefaniak, and we'll see you next time on Focus on Health.
This Focus on Health segment has been brought to you by Aurora Healthcare.
As always, thanks so much, Ted. And that's going to do it for this episode of Oshkosh Today. Make sure you tune into CATV2 for all of your community programming. You can also check us out on OshkoshCommunityMedia.org for replays of your favorite shows, or go to our YouTube channel and share them with your friends. Of course, you can always hear Oshkosh Today and other programs on the radio at 101.9 WOCT, which is also streaming online and on the OCMS website or the TuneIn Radio app for mobile devices. Don't forget to like our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter for both city and programming updates. And finally, if you're a Pinterest fan, check out our board for the latest snapshots of the city. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, you can email me at emackowski@ci.oshkosh.wi.us. Thanks so much for joining us on Oshkosh Today, and we'll see you next time.
Oshkosh Today was supported in part by the Friends of OCM, Aurora Healthcare, 855 North West Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard. To find replay times for Oshkosh Today, to be a guest on the show, or to watch online, visit our website at OshkoshCommunityMedia.org.